This is perfectly timed because Novogratz has been the piñata of Bitcoin when it goes down. It's been the genius of Bitcoin when it goes up. And all of a sudden, Larry showed up at the door to say, hey, big, respectable firms can prosecute and do Bitcoin. Link Lawrence Fink of BlackRock to Mike Novogratz.
Well, what's happened is people, as you suggest, make fun of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but now the establishment, Larry Fink at BlackRock, is now saying they're going to have an ETF, if approved by the government, in Bitcoin. So you're saying, wait a second, if the mighty BlackRock is willing to have an ETF in Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin's going to be around for a while.
Lisa wants to jump in here, but I'm going to cut to the news moment. Is Carlyle announcing this morning a Bitcoin advocacy?
No, I don't think so. But there's no doubt that Bitcoin is something that I wish I had bought it at $100 a Bitcoin when Mike Novogratz started buying it. It's now at $29,000. So he's made a lot of money. And a lot of people who bought it at the $100 or less are feeling pretty good. Now, it went up as high as $61,000, I think. Even down to $31,000 or even $29,000 now is still pretty good profit if you bought it at $100.
We all wish we would have bought it at 100 and to ride it up. It's one thing for BlackRock to come up with an ETF because they believe in the proposition of Bitcoin. It's another because they see a profitability proposition where they can, basically take advantage of the interests other people have. I mean, isn't that more of what this is? That basically Wall Street is saying, if there is a market for it and we can viably make one for them and make some money, why not?
Well, remember, Wall Street is in business to make money, and this is something they can probably make money of. You have to remember, the United States government has been somewhat skeptical of it. I think Democrats in the Congress, and particularly the people regulating the SEC, are skeptical of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But outside the United States, there's a lot of interest in it. I think FTX really hurt when it went bankrupt, and it hurt the crypto industry. But a lot of people around the world want to be able to trade in a currency that their government can't know what they have, and they want to be able to move it around, rightly or wrongly. And so I don't think Bitcoin is going away. I think the Republicans on Capitol Hill have been pretty supportive of it.
There's a difference between having a seamless cross-currency payment, basically saying that instead of going to Western Union, I can go and just transfer something in Bitcoin if it has a stable enough price. That's one proposition. But the proposition of Bitcoin as a store of value that could kind of be bid up the way that gold or silver could seems to have been parked with the advent of yield suddenly that you can get for actual money. I mean, isn't that sort of the feeling that you're getting?
Well, there's no doubt that when interest rates are as high as they are, you don't need to have gold or other kinds of things to get you some solid return, because when you get 5% on treasuries, but eventually 5% will be coming down at some point. I don't think Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies that are the better ones, the better known ones, Bitcoin and so a number of others, are going to go away. There's enormous interest around the world in being able to have something you can transfer without the government knowing about it and keep it private. And, you can say people shouldn't do that, but that's not going to stop people from doing it.
Mr. Novogratz on Mr. Gensler. What did he say about the efforts of our chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Well, Gary Gensler, who's the chairman of the SEC, is not a big fan of cryptocurrency. I think that's fair to say. But he lost a major case recently in court where he was trying to argue that one of the cryptocurrencies, Ripple, was a security, and he lost that case. So I think the SEC has not been able to convince at least the government yet, or at least the courts, that cryptocurrency is such a dangerous thing. And I remember a lot of people in the government now are thinking that Gary Gensler won't be the chairman of the SEC forever.
That's where I wanted to go. I mean, these guys just wait him out, right?
I think that's a strategy that's very popular in Washington, waiting out regulators you don't like.